So basically now, I mean, we've hit, not only with websites, but everything that you do, we're kind of in this marketing revolution now. What they're saying is, instead of us interrupting what people are interested in, you have to be what people are interested in. So before, if you open up a newspaper and you're reading an article and there's an ad, that's what they mean by being interrupted. With social media, your clients have to opt in order to get that information from you. So you have to give them a reason to opt in, and you have to keep giving them a reason to be opt-in. So that's just a selection. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, Foursquare, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and MySpace. To start with, just focus on one or two, depending on your resources, to get you going. Obviously the natural thing is people say, well, what am I going to focus on? Well, you're going to focus on the platform that where your client is going to be. Facebook is the natural choice because we have so many Facebook users. If you're a business to business, then LinkedIn is probably more appropriate. Now, a key tip with your Facebook site, make sure you claim your name. What Anne's done is she's claimed her name, so instead of being 5, 6, 7,000 blah blah blah, it says Dunedin International Airport. So everybody should do that. So if you haven't created a Facebook page and you're thinking of creating it, you must have your own personal Facebook page, and then once you've got your own personal Facebook page, you then create your business page or an organisation page or a community group. But you have to have your own one to create that one. And then once you've created that one, you can then add other administrators. So it's not, you don't have to be the only administrator, you can have other people administrating it. The only thing I say, word of caution there, is that you want to make sure that whoever is updating it can spell, because it's instant, and knows what's going on. The next social media after Facebook and LinkedIn, maybe a little bit of Twitter if you really can, maybe a little bit of YouTube channel, but the other one that you should be thinking about now is Google+, because Google+ is owned by Google, and Google+ being owned by Google, they're pushing it and it's all part of your search engine rankings. So, but again with Google+, it's actually taken me a bit of time to sort out how you actually set it up, because Google+ is quite recent, it's only about a year old. First of all, they didn't have business pages, now they do have business pages, but it seems to work a similar way. That's why it's almost like you've got to just be a bit careful before you launch into it. Make sure that you either that you get some help or that you research it so that you know the steps to doing it, because as Anne's already said, you could end up with 3 different Facebook pages. Make the most of that visual component, upload those photos. Try to upload a photo with a little bit of text. And the other thing I was just reading recently about Facebook is a thing called Edge Rank, whereby not all of the news feeds are going through. So even though you're putting these status updates, not all of your clients are actually seeing them. So weird. But they do rank photos highly. So just put photos up. Well, that are relevant. In terms of what your messages are when you are updating your social media, 80 to 90% of them should be of some kind of value for your clients. So gambling value, I don't know, because you can't tell them tips, can you? But you might be saying, oh, the Melbourne Cup's coming up, Winnie Tui's having this great thing, get in there, or we found this great online ranking system, I don't know, but something that's useful for your clients. So not necessarily a sales message every single time, in fact not every single time. Only 10 to 20% you should do your sales thing. So the idea is that your people who opt in to get these messages, they want deals, they want offers, they want information that's going to be of value of them, and then maybe the odd sales pitch. The initial setup, I mean, there's a couple of hours in there if you haven't got one set up, because you want to sort of get it right and then start thinking. And then what I say to my clients is just spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, just have a Word file handy or some notes, and when you spot something, think, oh, yep. Or even set up your social media calendar. So you've obviously got lots of events on, and certain things too that you want to, Christmas time and Easter time, there's some key things, some key messages you're going to be saying about those times. When you're doing some fundraising or certain big events like the Melbourne Cup coming up, there's some key things that should be slotted in already on your calendar. And then once you've got your key things in, then it's looking at those other things. So time-wise, I mean, I try to say dedicate some time each day to it. I've read some statistics saying that across the threshold is 6 hours a week. As soon as you start spending more than 6 hours a week on it, it starts to really reward you. So again, your information, you want to be instructional, informative, have some kind of guide, some contests. Again, involve your staff. Your staff are a great resource. They're going to have lots of things there, but I would recommend that you only assign one person responsibility for doing those updates. You want to keep it consistent, you want to keep it so that it does have, it's part of your strategy. Social media, your website, they're key tools in your marketing box, but the same rules apply to them as do any marketing. You integrate them and you have a strategy. Anything that you do, so if you've got a blog page, if you've got on your homepage and that, if you do have a Facebook thing, make sure that those buttons are there so that people can social share or they can easily get to you. So there's no point having it all there and then not having it accessible. I picked up this tip the other day. Apparently if you upload your images to Flickr, Google Images will pick them up too and index them.